What a shot by Evander Holyfield. It was a twisting right, and down went Douglas. There's a new heavyweight champion of the world, and his name is Evander Holyfield.
Boxing is one of the most iconic and widely recognized contact sports in the world. In the mid-20th century, with the rise of television, boxing reached a new level of global fame, becoming the most popular martial art on the planet. In today's episode, we'll take a deep look into the history of boxing through the lens of its greatest and most legendary fights. These are the bouts that filled huge arenas, captured the attention of millions of viewers around the world, and forever changed the history of the sport. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the World of Boxing, where we relive the greatest moments ever witnessed inside the ring.
Almost a role reversal between the two, Alex, on the winning.
On July 30th, 1989, WBA super welterweight world champion Julian Jackson, aged 28 from the Virgin Islands, stepped into the ring for his third title defense. Up to that point, Jackson had lost only once in his career, boasting a record of 38 victories, 36 of them by knockout. He hadn't won on points for more than 7 years, and 30 of his fights ended within 6 rounds. His opponent that night was Terry Norris, just 22 years old and fighting for a world title for the first time in his career. Although Norris didn't have Jackson's knockout power, he was known for his speed, skill, and raw talent, qualities that made this matchup highly anticipated. At the time, Norris was training under the guidance of Abel Sanchez, a relatively unknown coach. In one corner stood the champion, a man with one of the most dangerous right hands in boxing. In the other corner, a hungry young challenger ready to make his mark. This fight quickly became one of the most intriguing showdowns of its time. Fans and experts alike agreed that Jackson versus Norris was a fight not to be missed. A few interesting notes before the opening bell. The bout took place in the same arena where, just a week earlier, Mike Tyson had defended his undisputed title, knocking out Carl Williams in only 93 seconds. On the undercard that night was Julio Cesar Chavez, who entered the ring with 63 wins, no losses, and 14 title fights across 2 weight divisions. Before the fight, Jackson boldly stated that he hoped to repeat Tyson's quick knockout victory, but what happened in the first round suggested that things might not go his way.
Joe Cortez stops the fight. Norris did indeed beat the count. And Julian Jackson.
What were your impressions of your knockout? It looked like he gave you a lot of trouble in the first round.
I was too relaxed in the first round. I couldn't get to him the way I wanted to, and I had to settle down. I had to get with it because I know these guys that box and move, they're very difficult. As I said, style makes a fight.
Did you have any doubt that you would be able to catch with that kind of shot?
Oh, definitely. When I went back in my corner, I knew he was right there for the shot. I just had to set it up.
From the opening bell, Terry Norris showed no fear of his dangerous opponent. If you didn't know better, you might have thought Norris was the defending champion. At times, Jackson, known for his devastating power, looked uncomfortable, even uncertain. Many believed Jackson might struggle, but very few expected Norris to dominate the early rounds so confidently. Using his quick jab and smart counterattacks, Norris began to control the pace. Trainer Abel Sanchez had instructed Norris to stay on the move, stay sharp, and, above all, avoid mistakes, because against a puncher like Jackson, one mistake could end the night instantly. And in the second round, that's exactly what happened. Norris left a small opening, and Jackson pounced, delivering a thunderous right hand that sent Norris crashing to the canvas.
Oh, what a punch! I can't believe that. Never been stopped in his career, and he's out to the world, winning every round there, Harold Brad. Jim, have you ever seen such a tournament? I did say at the start of the...
Norris managed to rise to his feet, insisting he could continue, but his legs betrayed him. He was clearly hurt. The referee had no choice but to stop the fight, as Norris needed assistance just to sit back in his corner. Julian Jackson had once again proven why he was considered one of the hardest punchers in the sport.
Not the right eye. Oh, what a combination! There's the left flicking in the face of George Foreman. George Foreman backing Ali.
9 months after that defeat, Terry Norris returned to the ring with renewed determination and became a world champion himself. Over the next few years, he defeated big names like John Mugabe, Sugar Ray Leonard, Donald Curry, and Meldrick Taylor, though many of them were past their prime by then. As for Julian the Hawk Jackson, his victory over Norris solidified his place as a true boxing superstar. A year and a half later, Jackson stepped into another unforgettable battle, this time against Harold Graham. October 30th, 1974, a date forever etched in boxing history. The world heavyweight champion, George Foreman, just 25 years old, prepared to defend his WBA and WBC titles against the 32-year-old former champion, Muhammad Ali. Back in 1968, Foreman had competed in the Mexico City Olympics with an amateur record of 16 wins and 4 losses, and walked away with a gold medal. In only 3.5 years as a professional, he had earned a record of 37 wins, no losses, and 34 knockouts, destroying anyone who stood in his way. Among his most famous victims was Joe Frazier, who 2 years earlier had handed Ali his first professional defeat.
Ali backs up Foreman, backs him up in his back. Foreman staggers. Foreman tries to look. Ali's going to the right. Foreman gets back to the left. Foreman hit again. Foreman has been hit 3 or 4 times.
Foreman completely dismantled Joe Frazier in less than 6 minutes, a display of sheer power that made the world fear the young champion.
3, 4, 5.
Meanwhile, Muhammad Ali was determined to climb back to the top after his loss to Frazier. He strung together 10 consecutive victories, only to suffer a setback against Ken Norton in March 1973. Ali immediately avenged that loss, then defeated Frazier again, who by then had already lost his title to Foreman. This positioned Ali perfectly for another shot at the World Championship. The promoter, Don King, promised both fighters $5 million each, though he didn't actually have the funds. His search for investors led him to Africa, to the city of Kinshasa, the capital of Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. The fight was initially scheduled for September 24th, but after Foreman was injured in training, it was postponed to October 30th. To suit American TV schedules, the bout began at 4 a.m. local time, under the African night sky. That fight would later be remembered as the Rumble in the Jungle. Jersey Joe Walcott entered the 7th round with noticeably less energy than before. He tried to keep Rocky Marciano at bay using his jab, and for a while the strategy worked. Marciano struggled to find his target as Walcott moved cleverly around the ring.
Now Joe's got him. Walcott back to you. You're probably not seeing it.
In the 9th round, Marciano managed to close the distance between them. Despite fatigue and a cut near his eye, Walcott continued to fight bravely, defending well and landing smart counterpunches whenever he could. His experience and composure were on full display. By the 10th round, momentum had shifted. Marciano's punches began connecting more often, while Walcott's energy started to fade. Pinned against the ropes, Walcott countered less frequently, allowing Marciano to apply relentless pressure and turn up the heat.